Well, I've hinted at it a few times. The ZD30 Patrol that I used to own got written off, and I've got this bad boy. And it's really nice Patrol. I've put my bar work on it, I've put a 3-inch lift kit on it, I've got some pretty cool mud tyres for it, but it's a TB45. So for those who've been following, you'll have seen that my garage has been taken up by John's Jimny. That was a project that gave us a lot of challenges. It's finally pretty much finished, so now I can get started with this thing. For me, there's pretty much one diesel engine to go with that is ideal, and that is the 12 valve Cummins 6BT. Here it is. Putting together a cradle to hold the engine. Just bolted a piece of steel to it. That's it there. Same for the other side. Just using the existing engine mount holes on the block. Then I'm going to weld some uprights on. Got some big heavy duty casters. I got this bad boy off the boat not that long ago from the States. It's out of a Dodge. It's the 215 horsepower engine, and the 215 is sort of the highest horsepower that these came out factory in before they switched to the 24 valve head and a different pump. To go with that, I've got 4L80E. That's been built by Wholesale Automatics. Stay tuned, because that's probably going to be the first episode I really drop on this. I did notice when I took it off the boat that the engine seems to have been dropped. I know that the turbo is bent, you probably can't see it, but the turbo is bent and it's cactus, so I'm going to have to find a replacement. So I picked this one up through Techstar, what are they called? Techstar Automotive. That's a company that's, I think, US based, that do exports, and they package it up, put it in a big crate for you, and ship it internationally. You just have to pay import fees, I think border fees or taxes when it gets to Australia, but overall it ends up being pretty well worth it. Just thought I'd demonstrate that the turbo is cactus, has a bent shaft. Don't know how well you can see that on the camera. Definitely crooked. So with the broken turbo removed, I've fed the oil feed for the turbo straight into the drain. Now the turbo also restricts oil flow, so that's not enough. Doing that would prevent oil pressure to the rest of the engine when starting it. So I've also put a restrictor in here, which is literally just like a little piece of, I cut a piece off this wire and stuffed it underneath that fitting and put the fitting back on. So that will stop too much oil coming through there. So that I can start the thing. There's no belts on it, no coolant in it, but there is oil in it. I've put some Dello 400 in there. And I've also hooked up a fuel feed, so diesel in there, hooked up to the pump up here. Now the pump is a bit sketchy. I actually was trying to get this pump working, and it turns out there's a broken spring inside there. I did some ghetto repairs involving a 20-cent piece. I might show that later on, but it works for now, which is enough. I also don't have a shut-off start solenoid, so normally there would be a solenoid mounted here somewhere that would pull up on this lever on the side of the P-pump. There'd be a solenoid here to turn the pump on and off. Mine doesn't have that, so I'm gonna have to get one. But with the fuel feed, and that there's the fuel return, the fuel's all primed. It's a new oil filter, Fleet Guard oil filter. And I've hooked up the battery here, just grounded to the frame. Obviously positive up there to the starter motor, and then the starter relay wire for the starter, or for the solenoid I should say. I've just got here on a switch. I've done some cranking to make sure there's oil pressure, so that should be fine. Should be good to start. I'm pretty excited about the engine. I've actually had it sitting here for months now, probably nearly 6 months I reckon, or 4 months maybe. The gearbox actually I've had for quite a while. That's been here for a month now, 2 months, I don't even know. The passage of time during COVID is just weird. So I've got some work to do. I started the engine probably quite a while ago, but I have a hands full with other projects, including John's chimney. That's finally done. I've had other projects on the go as well, but now I've got some space to work on this. So a couple of reasons I chose this engine over a Barra or an LS. It actually was a close decision between this and a Barra. Barra's a pretty damn cool Barra turbo. But I'm a diesel man, so I wanted a diesel, and these have a reputation of being million-mile engines. Like, it's just ultra reliable, simple push rod valves. It's a very simple engine. So for me, yeah, it was a no-brainer. Go the all-mechanical version. No electronics or ECU to worry about. Although I do have that with the gearbox, but that's okay. The gearbox is worth it. I could have gone to TD42. Would have cost a lot less money. But to sort of get the same power, you'd end up spending the same money and then not have the potential left in it that this would have. I mean, these can make crazy horsepower, so even stock, it'll be adequate, and it won't take much more to get a lot more out of it. So that's those are all factors in the decision. If you're thinking about doing a 6BT conversion, there's a few choices between the mechanical 12 valve, 24 valve, and then later on the common rail. Now the 12 valve comes out with different pumps. This is the P pump, P7100 Bosch pump. There's also the VE pump, which is similar. It's a mechanical pump as well. The benefit to this one, which is why it gives it that distinctive, look, is that there's a separate delivery valve for each injector. With its own piston and plunger. The VE pump is a rotary pump that has a single plunger that's used for every injector. So they say that as a result, the P pump has more benefit for power, but in saying that, the VE pump still has a lot of potential for power in it. There's a lot you can do to make them produce extra horses. So don't discount a VE pump if you're looking at buying one. Especially if you don't intend to chase horsepower, it won't make any difference. The 24 valve, I think from what I've read, is supposed to be the better flowing cylinder head. Again, there's so much potential in the 12 valve that for me it was a non-issue. They say the pick of the cream of the crop is a 24 valve engine with a P pump kit on it, which is what you would have seen a few other people around YouTube do with their patrols as well. If you go a common rail, expect to spend money. They're more expensive by quite a lot, but just for the horsepower, I didn't need to go that engine. For the extra expense, just no benefit for me. So stay tuned. There's going to be an episode while I'm not going to rebuild this, and I'm not going to take the head off, but I am going to replace all of the seals that look like they're leaking. It's from 1997, so it's covered in grease and schmutz, so obviously they need doing. Then there's going to be an episode building the gearbox, and then I'm going to get stuck into installing it in the car. Stay tuned.